The story kicks off with a glowing yellow eye opening up in the pitch-black darkness. The owner of the eye feels completely confused. He thinks he might have fallen asleep, but he can't figure out whose room he is in. He wonders if it is still nighttime because it is way too dark, and he frantically looks around for a light switch, but he realizes he can't find one. He starts to question if this room belongs to him or if he is somewhere else entirely. Suddenly, his view changes and he realizes he is inside a shell that cracks open to reveal a massive forest outside. A status screen pops up in his vision identifying him as a dragon egg with normal status, and he completely freaks out because he has no idea what is going on. He tries to move but finds that he can't move his body properly, and he starts screaming in his mind about what the hell is happening. He reads the floating blue screen that lists his species as dragon egg and displays his attack, defense, magic, and agility stats along with special skills like eggshell and divine voice. He also notices resistance skills like physical resistance and normal skills like roll and view stats. A voice suddenly speaks in his head telling him that his stat window has been opened and explains that it displays all his current abilities with numerical values for ease of understanding. He asks if the voice is talking to him, and the voice identifies itself as the Divine Voice Level 1, which provides explanations for stats and items. The voice adds that it might alert him when his stats change, so he asks if this is a game, but the voice uselessly replies that it cannot provide explanations of that nature at level 1. He gets annoyed and asks if it will give him answers if he levels up and demands to know who he is talking to and where he is, but the voice just repeats the same unhelpful message about being level 1. He gets frustrated and yells at the voice to quit saying that already, and he starts rolling through the forest while screaming. He loses control and falls right out of a tree, which makes him panic. He hits the ground and wonders if he just fell from a tree, and immediately the voice informs him that he has obtained the falling resistance skill. He checks his status and sees his HP went down, which scares him, and then the voice tells him he obtained the Klutz title. He gets angry and feels like the voice is making fun of him by giving him a title like that. He continues rolling and accidentally rolls right off a cliff and falls toward the water, but he manages to stop himself just before plunging in. He hides behind some rocks and looks out at the water, realizing he nearly took a plunge. He looks at his reflection in the river surface and freezes because he sees an egg staring back at him. He screams in total confusion, asking himself if he is really an egg because it makes no sense. The sun starts to set and the divine voice chimes in again, calling him a dragon egg, which is an F-rank monster and the offspring of a dragon. The voice bluntly tells him that he will die if his shell is broken, which makes him shout that it has to be kidding him. The voice continues to insult him by saying he is powerless and has low intelligence due to an underdeveloped brain, and that rolling is all he can do. He gets defensive and yells back that his brain works fine, thank you very much. The voice then explains that although he can become a fearsome dragon with age, the egg is actually considered a gourmet delicacy. He is shocked to hear the word gourmet applied to him. The voice explains that it is common practice among adventurers to destroy any dragon eggs they find, but they are considered dangerous to approach if the mother or father dragon are nearby. He freaks out, asking what the hell the voice is talking about regarding adventurers and dragons. He starts rolling quickly down a hill to get away from the open area. He crashes through a tree, leaving a cartoonish egg-shaped hole, and the voice informs him that his roll skill has increased from level 1 to 2. He's surprised he already had level 1 but wonders what leveling up even does. He suddenly realizes he can steer now and excitedly turns and goes full speed ahead. He rolls through the forest as the sun sets and notices his health bar is low. Night falls and his health bar refills to full, and the voice tells him that falling resistance and Klutz have increased to level 2. He is relieved his HP is back but annoyed at the Klutz title leveling up. He decides he isn't going to die like a Klutz and rolls across a grassy field at night, deciding to take a break. He rests behind a rock and is happy to see that resting recovers his HP. He starts thinking about his situation and realizes that since he is an egg, he has to hatch eventually. He wonders if he will become a terrifying dragon and how he even gets to that point. He guesses this is like an RPG where he has to earn experience points to level up and evolve. He deduces that this means he has to fight enemies, which seems ridiculous since he is just an egg. He spots a brown oval object with a digital screen next to it and wonders if it is an insect. He uses his view stats skill and identifies it as a dark worm. He notices he has a title called Egg Eater and wonders if that means the worm eats eggs. A large purple creature with orange spikes and teeth hatches from the brown object and opens its mouth. He realizes the worm is definitely looking at him like he is food. The worm lunges at him and he yells in panic. He gets hit and his health bar drops, so he curses and realizes the worm doesn't know when to give up. He tries rolling away, but the worm chases him, so he realizes he can't get out of this by just fleeing. He decides he has to beat it up and views its stats again, noticing it has more HP than him. He knows he is doomed if they just butt heads, so he has to find a way to get the upper hand. The worm attacks again, and green slime splashes onto him, sticking him to the worm's body. He decides to take a gamble and throws himself and the worm off a cliff, hoping he can survive the fall. He drags the worm down with him and they crash. He survives and sees the giant purple caterpillar lying dead on the ground. He is in pain but checks if he won. The voice confirms he gained 12 experience points, and due to the effect of the walking egg title, he earned an additional 12 experience points. He is excited that his theory about this being a game is correct. The voice announces he is now a level 5 dragon egg and that he has maxed out his level and all evolution requirements have been fulfilled. He is happy about leveling up but confused about what maxed out means. The voice asks if he wants to view the evolution tree, and he agrees. He sees options for baby dragon and little dragon. He asks for an explanation, and the voice tells him the little dragon is a dwarf breed that is larger than a bear and feared for its fire breath. He thinks that sounds cool but then asks about the other one. The voice explains the baby dragon has tender meat that is considered exquisite and pairs well with sauce. He gets depressed hearing a culinary review of his potential future body. The voice adds that the baby dragon is not suited for battle due to short claws and fangs, but has great potential and can evolve into many different species. He initially thinks the little dragon is the safer choice, but then the voice tells him to grow strong and aim for the top. He notices the divine voice skill has leveled up to 2 and sounds different. He decides that if the baby dragon has great potential, that means the little dragon doesn't evolve very far. He decides he doesn't want any regrets and chooses the baby dragon. He evolves and a screen confirms he has changed from dragon egg to baby dragon. He also learns that due to the title Son of the Dragon King, all resistance skills level 5 or lower are boosted. He obtains Dragon Scale and Baby Breath and Whistle and Nibble skills. He looks at his new yellow body and notices his stats went up a bunch, but his HP and MP didn't recover fully. He realizes he needs to rest or eat to recover. He looks at the dead worm and his stomach growls. He thanks the worm for helping him quit the egg life but feels disgusted by the idea of eating it. His dragon instincts kick in and tell him to pig out on the worm to recover his HP. He climbs a tree and jumps off to fly, but fails and lands in the water. He looks at his reflection and confirms he is still a dragon and not a human. He accepts that he was reincarnated into an RPG world. He eats the worm and thinks it is vomitrocious. He sleeps and wakes up hoping to be human again, but sees he is still a dragon. He starts hunting more purple monsters to gain EXP. He questions who he used to be as a human, but can't remember his gender or name. He uses a powerful fire attack to defeat 2 monsters. He finds more dark worms and hunts them aggressively. He reaches level 20 and imagines himself as a large orange dinosaur but snaps back to reality. He defeats a monster and levels up from 15 to 20. He feels confident and praises his walking egg title. He sleeps on a defeated monster and wakes up to find his skill, Baby Breath, has leveled up. He continues grinding levels and receives the Infighter title and the Dragon Punch skill. He tests the skill by shooting a massive blast of yellow electricity into the sky. He drinks from a pond and gets dizzy and sick. The voice tells him he reached level 15 but he feels awful. He realizes the water was poisonous but he gains the poison resistance skill. He complains about having to eat more gross mushrooms and wishes he could wash the flavor from his mind. He decides to find other prey and spots a gray wolf. He checks its stats and sees it is level 6 with lower stats than him. He gets ready to fight and jumps through the trees. He lands and confronts the wolf. He breathes out a massive explosion of fire. He cooks the wolf meat and takes a bite, realizing it tastes like barbecue. He is thrilled to have good food. He defeats more wolves and reaches level 20. He learns he can evolve again at level 25, but notes the pace of leveling is slowing down. He feels proud of his grilling skills and thinks he is adapting to the dragon lifestyle, but admits that only having the divine voice to chat with is dull. He hears voices nearby and hides behind a tree. He sees 3 humans wearing robes and armor walking through the forest. He can't understand their language but recognizes they are human. He realizes they are armed but assumes since he is a cute dragon he will be okay. He thinks none of them are stronger than him but worries about their numbers. He decides to launch Operation Friendship and jumps out in front of them acting like a good little dragon. He poses to look cute and waits for a hug. The man with long hair smiles but then suddenly attacks and slashes him with a sword. He is shocked and terrified. The man points his sword at him while he cowers. Another man attacks him with a glowing ring that paralyzes him. He disappears into golden light, suffering from the magic attack. He screams that he is not a threat and just wants to live. The girl with pink hair named Miria steps in and spreads her arms to protect him from the 2 men. He is confused why she is defending him. He feels a warm light and realizes she is healing him with magic. He obtains the magic resistance skill. He wonders if they want to eat him but realizes the girl is genuinely saving him. The men laugh and talk while the girl sits on the ground exhausted because she has hardly any MP left. She finishes healing him and tells him to stay still. He receives the Grisha language skill and realizes he might understand her better soon. He views her stats and learns her name is Miria Miliania and she is an Earth human. He is touched that she used her remaining magic to heal a monster. Suddenly, the sky turns red and a dark void appears and they hear screams in the distance. The men disappear and ghostly images appear. Miria looks around in shock. The paralysis is wearing off, but he decides to keep acting injured to see what happens and obtains the liar title. Miria drags him behind her by his tail, which hurts. She smiles and walks through the forest, pulling him along. He obtains the Greek language skill and hopes to communicate. Suddenly, a giant red skull face appears above them, and he screams in terror. He realizes a super strong monster is nearby and the other humans must be dead. The giant monster looms over them. He knows Miria has no MP left and can't fight. He thinks she should leave him, but she tries to drag him. He realizes she won't leave him. He decides he can't let her die. He glows and disappears into light as he forces his body to move. He stands up and faces the giant stone monster with glowing red eyes. He yells at his body to move. He views the monster's stats and sees it is a little rock dragon rank C with way more HP than him. He is terrified but determined. He runs through the rain alongside a translucent blue image of his former human self. He shouts Miria's name and runs to protect her, earning the title Hated for Being Brave.